For more on the besiege and where Iran is headed, we turn once again to Karim Sadjapur. He's a leading researcher on Iran with the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace in Washington, D.C. Karim, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Daljan.
So earlier on this week, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said Iran was becoming a military dictatorship. Is that true?
I think it's unfortunately a reflection of the reality on the ground, Daljit. The Revolutionary Guards have really eclipsed the clergy in terms of their economic influence and their political influence, and they're essentially running Iranian foreign policy in places like Iraq, Afghanistan and Lebanon. What I would slightly quibble with the Secretary is that she said that the Revolutionary Guards are quote-unquote supplanting Iran's civilian leadership. And I would argue, in fact, that the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and the President, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, have actually spearheaded Iran's transition to military dictatorship. So they're very much implicated in this transition to military dictatorship.
Right, we just heard a report about the paramilitary group, the Besiege. What role do they play in enforcing the will of the state?
The Besiege operate under the umbrella of the Revolutionary Guards, and it's a very diverse group of young men, basically. It's younger men between the ages of 15 to 30 approximately. And outside of Tehran and some of the provinces, the Besiege is an organization almost akin to the Boy Scouts. They can be kind of a Islamic Boy Scouts of sorts. But you do have much more hardline elements of the Besiege militia, which are kind of a cross between the Hells Angels and the Taliban. Young men, religiously indoctrinated, and very willing and oftentimes thirsty to use violence against their civilian counterparts. And we really saw the regime try to control the crowds over the past summer and the past 8 months of opposition tumult by basically allowing the Besiege a carte blanche to use violence and create an atmosphere of terror and intimidation.
And just very briefly, there was another report today suggesting that Iran continues to pursue nuclear weapons. What is the significance of that report?
I think what's significant is you now have a new IAEA Director General who is less worried about writing reports which offer the United States fodder to attack Iran. This was the position of Mohammad al-Baradei. But ultimately, I don't think this report is going to change the perceptions of officials in Europe or the United States. I think they've long believed that Iran is indeed in pursuit of a nuclear weapons capability. So I don't think it changes things dramatically.
Karim Sadjapur in Washington, D.C., thank you very much for joining us.
Anytime, Dalji. Thank you.